Good morning. Have you ever wondered how it was that John the Baptist knew when to come and start baptizing in the River Jordan? How did he know that it was going to be at a particular time of period that Jesus was going to come down to be baptized in the River Jordan? He was part of an elite group who not only studied the Word of God, but was doing a bit of Bible maths. Let me show you this. In 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 10, Peter says this: "Concerning this salvation, the prophets who spoke of the grace that was to come to you, searched intently and with greatest care, trying to find out the time and circumstances to which the Spirit of Christ in them was pointing when he predicted the sufferings of Christ and the glories that would follow." You see, God is faithful, that he has promised in Amos 3 verse 7 that he would allow nothing to happen to us without first of all revealing it to us through his servants the prophets. So John the Baptist took time to study for this one purpose, especially regarding the plan of salvation, to try and find out the time and circumstances to which the Spirit of Christ in them was pointing when he predicted the sufferings of Christ. Now here in Daniel chapter 8 verse 14, we are introduced to a period of time, 2,300 years. As we discovered in our last study, we found out that 457 BCE was the starting point that we need to use to determine this period of time. The reason why we're using this as our starting point, as we found out in Daniel chapter 9 verse 25, it said, "Know and understand this, from the issuing of the decree to restore and to rebuild Jerusalem until the anointed one, the ruler, comes." We found out that there was a period of time starting in the decree, and the decree is 457 BCE. Now, in this period of time, we found out in Daniel chapter 9 verse 24 that 77s are decreed, or as we have found out, cut out of this period of time, this 2,300 years. So we find that the starting point of this 490-year period was 457 BCE. So we see, if we do a little bit of maths, that if you take 490 years and you subtract 457 years from that, which is the starting point, we are left with 33 years. Now you'll notice that I added 1 year on here to give us 34 CE. And the reason why I've done that is that when you move from 1 BCE, which is before Common Era, into the Common Era time period, there isn't a 0 year. So it's important to add 1 year onto your time period, especially when you change over to the next phase of time. So we see that the Jewish dispensation of time, which is 490 years, starts in 457 BCE and ends in 34 CE. Now let's use this to find out this other phase or period of time, when it was going to end. We start off again with 2,300 years. We subtract 457 years from that. It gives us 1,843 years. We add on 1 year and gives us 1844. So we see right here that God has given us two points that we need to focus on. This is our first focal period, and this is going to be our second focal period in our studies to come. Congratulations! You, like John the Baptist, have now figured out 2 important time periods recorded in Daniel chapter 9. May God bless you today, and may you be excited as you discover what God has got in store for us with regards to the plan of salvation.